All right, Tommy. It's an emergency here at Hypotheticals. That sound can only mean one thing, and that's that we're recording an emergency podcast because, of course, the biggest trade in NBA history has just happened. Tom, how are you before we get right into this?
Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think... I thought it was someone had gotten hacked. I thought my life had been hacked. You sent me a screenshot like 10 business minutes ago, and my life has just been one Reddit deep dive after another. People are losing their minds. We had to call an emergency pod. I hate that we're talking about the Lakers. You know how I feel. It's well documented. Mavs, not so. I'm a bit warmer on the Mavs, but look, we had to do it. We've got a doozer here for our listeners, and so just as a quick, I don't know if you're going to bring this up, Jez, but we've hit 4 figures on our subscribers, and what a way to reward them with a little emergency pod.
Absolutely. So today we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Congratulations, Tom. And yes, you're right. The NBA gods have given us a beautiful celebration for that. So let's just dive straight into our first segment here, which is Heat Check.
Yep.
We've got to get a temperature on everything. So let's throw over to our segment, Heat Check. Alrighty, this is
sweating.
Heat Check. That's it. I'm sweating. This is Heat Check. This is where we take the temperature of different things in the NBA. So let's just dive straight into I'm going to dive into the details of the trade, and then we can start hacking it up a little bit. So let's just run through it. The Lakers receive Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. The Mavericks receive Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the 29 Lakers first-round pick. And the Jazz, good for them, snuck in here, got Jalen Hood-Schifino, the Clippers' second-round pick for this year, and Dallas's second-round pick for this year. So, Tommy, what are you thinking straight away there? What do you want to give us your temps on?
Maxi Kleber is actually a weird, not even a bad... Sorry to just call it out. He's not even a bad pickup at this rate. I mean, it's highway robbery, and Kleber snuck in there. They must have had a couple of crisp high fives as well. The Lakers have committed daylight robbery here. Okay, let's Heat Check. So I don't want to get too close to our later segments, but Lakers, they're hot mostly with money. They're winning they've won this in marketing more than anything else. I'm just flying through this. Mavs, actually, again, we'll get to this later, but they could be hot as well. I give them maybe a 50, 60 degrees. This could work. We'll get into it in a minute. Was it the Clip? Who was the other team? The Jazz.
The Jazz.
Just like the salt, pepper, and cumin. You know, there are three's a crowd. I don't know how they got the biggest trade in NBA history, and they're just like there, like, "Hi guys, the party started."
Collected interest somehow. There's a Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade, and somehow the Jazz have walked away with a player and 2 picks. I mean, good for that.
I think they're more confused than anyone else. Do you think that this is the biggest trade in NBA history?
Yeah, 100%. I can tell you why. Let me just lay down the heat on that one. And it's the Luka Doncic taking a team to the finals and then getting traded before the next playoffs. That's got to be the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah. And he's under 25. Mm-hmm. He's got more all-star appearances than like Dirk had at that age. He's got he's been MVP front runner for a couple of years now. Yeah, he's been to a conference finals as well in a separate year. He's like the franchise player of franchise players. They went back-to-back. They went Dirk, there was that one season crossover. They literally went back-to-back franchise players, and they've just punted him. And it makes me think, what dirt does someone have on someone somewhere? Mm-hmm. And again, we'll get into this, but Luka is either severely injured or the Lakers just have some kind of someone just leaked big time and they have pulled but I don't want to get to my redacted yet. But just for people that are new to the show, redacted is going to be our NBA conspiracy theory. You and I have both thought about and combed the internet for some of the more wild and outlandish theories. So if you want to hear them, stay tuned for that segment. But I just want to get let's start a little more basic here, Tommy. So let's go to the Lakers and get a bit of a heat check on how you feel about the Lakers now. Yeah, look, the Lakers, I actually think this is the most Lakers thing they could have done. I know I've said that kind of thing before, but they've gone for, do you know what we need next to LeBron? Another ball-dominant dude who doesn't play defense. Let's do that. And so they've got kind of like LeBron 2.0, and they've gotten rid of really the only big man defense that they had. So I actually think the Lakers, they'll love this for the marketing because they've got Luka. They'll also love this for the farewell tour that LeBron is inevitably going on in the next sort of 2 to 3 years. So like Laker ticket prices are just flying, which they will froth. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, do you think that this actually helps? Like practically basketball wise, does this help their team? Because I don't know that it does.
So here I'll go from there. I think that you've kind of got a best case, worst case. I mean, there's huge problems, and I'll get to those in a second. But just to kind of give a broad concept of what this is, best case scenario, it's LeBron and Rondo, two people that were ball dominant point guardy type people that took the Lakers to the finals and ultimately won them the chip. I'd say that's in your mind kind of best case scenario. Worst case scenario, of course, it's LeBron and Russell Westbrook. Again, both ball dominant people. Yeah. And so I would say they're kind of, that's what you're playing with initially. But let's talk about a couple of things, because you made a good point about defense. The Lakers starting center currently is Jackson Hayes with AD out. Who? And you're gonna have Rui Hachimura kind of also filling in some slot minutes there, I think, which is giving you questions about who's going to be stopping Jokic at all on this team. It is going to be an absolute massacre, and I don't know. There needs to be another trade that's going to be happening. I mean, unless Markieff Morris, who they got in the trade, is going to turn into AD, which I think that the best chance of that was happening 10 years ago. I don't know if we're going to be seeing a lot of that.
Mate, I'd take dominating somehow. Portland, I think, would be able to match up with them well. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't even know who that first dude is that you mentioned. I know who Rui is. I don't know who the other guy is. So, yeah, the Lakers, this has to be full PR move, full big big team. Has to be.
Yeah, well, I've got another thing for you here. Can Luka, Austin Reeves, and Connect be the best white guy trio since Bird, McHale, and Ainge? That's another thing that's in play.
I actually don't hate that. Maybe they're just like, look, this is because LeBron's only going to play less minutes. Yeah, I will touch on the Lakers a little bit more in my redacted. But
me too.
This is definitely a PR move. This is long-term moves. They won't be winning basketball, but yeah, the Lakers have proved for quite a few seasons now they're not interested in winning basketball. So they hired JJ Redick, and that's what I'll say.
Can I say just a biggest winner out of this trade is Bronny, and I'll tell you why. He claims to be a defensive guard. They're actually going to need anybody that can play defense.
They need a body,
so he may actually get some court time.
He's got the best mentor for the next sort of 10 to 15 years now. And I don't know if you know, but Bronny's prime, Luka's prime, they're going to meet at about the same time. So this is really I'm seeing 3 sort of generations here. Like I think this is really going to cross over in a great way. So great moves.
Yeah. Tommy, can I grab one more heat check about the Lakers before we move over to some other people?
Yeah.
In terms of remembering the AD LeBron Lakers, what's your heat check on just this generation now that it's come to a close?
Well, it's funny. I actually, as much as I love to hate on the Lakers, I was looking at their record the other day and it was the same as the Bucks. For better or for worse, that's actually not at the worst record. I think they're sitting currently at like maybe 6th in the West or something. Like it's mildly respectable. They're out of the play-in. So weirdly enough, like I guess the penultimate question was that because AD's been having a pretty decent season and has actually been low-key available? Maybe. So yeah, and they got rid of D'Lo, who's been really inconsistent for them. So Luka might actually improve. And I guess the good thing with Luka is he passes really well, so he can get people like Reeves and Connect involved, and all the other who are on that team, the warm bodies they throw, Bronny, obviously. So this might actually, they're in a decent position, and maybe it'll work.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, my thoughts on the AD LeBron Lakers is slightly disappointing. I'm sure, like, this season they've done well, but just in terms of, like, from basically 2020, I guess, was their first season. I think it's because they're covered so much that seeing them have a couple of really bad playoff exits and what have you early on, I feel like this was the first time that LeBron's sort of credentials were a little bit tarnished, was in a Lakers uniform. Because before that, it was pretty bulletproof. Like, I mean, he lost to the Warriors, but I mean, everyone did. So what can you really say about that? I kind of, feel like it's been a bit disappointing because before that, I really thought LeBron was kind of bulletproof. I mean, this is just him getting old, but it definitely was the first time where you went, oh, okay, CP3 beat him. Okay. Like, okay,
well, the
we're
other
there.
thing is, like, felt like even though he has been getting older and lost his step, he's still been the best player on that team for the whole time. And it's just been tough to watch a bunch of people just suck so hard. And you've got LeBron James on that team. And you've got AD, who was like, he was always meant to be better than what he actually was. Even in his best seasons, he was still never quite, he's never been a genuine MVP candidate. He's never been a genuine, like, top 5, top 10. So yeah, I don't know. It has been disappointing.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tommy, let's jump over to AD because he's moved to a new team now, the Dallas Mavericks. Now, what's your heat check on the Dallas Mavericks here?
Yeah, low key. Like, look, I'll go negative first. They have given away their generational player for a handshake and a smile. And I don't know in what universe this makes sense. I will play devil's advocate later. But for now, like, I don't know what they were thinking. I suppose it's good in the sense that AD doesn't like playing the 5 and they've got 2 centers who are in Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford who are more than happy to play it. So I guess that makes sense, I suppose. But what a banged up 30-plus-year-old AD brings, I guess they're used to injuries. So there's no issues there. And I will add this as well. No more will I drop heat on John Horst because the Mavs are now the 30-plus team. They've got 30-plus AD, 30-plus Kyrie, 30-plus Clay. So, they're just going for that, I guess.
I was thinking this is one of the most John Horst moves of all time, to trade away someone young and talented for an old, banged-up player who had a prime probably 3 years ago, and you're just still kind of hoping on a prayer that they can bring any of that.
I'm still dirty about that Dante DiVincenzo trade, man. I still can't believe it. I still cannot believe it. But anyway, what's your heat check on the Mavs?
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually think that for this particular season, it's going to be really good for the Mavs. I like it because I think that I don't know what was going on with Luka, but I do feel like this team actually makes sense for this season, if I'm being honest. I can understand Kyrie and AD and Clay being a bit of a LeBron revenge team in a way.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see that happening. And I also think they're all kind of role players and they're all adults, so they can all, like, pass the rock. And they'll be pretty good this season, and they'll be annoying to play in the postseason as well. Not in the same way that they would have been with Luka, who can, scare any team to death. But, this is still going to be a solid team that's going to be annoying to get through. I think that this is a team that's actually built to kind of take on Jokic and the Nuggets, in my opinion. I think that they're going to be, this is a good one because it's just, there's a lot of size on this team. So maybe that's the positive, but I think we're kind of getting to a point where we need to ask ourselves, we're going to be getting close to the redacted here because we've got to ask a pretty serious question. And I think it leads us straight into redacted territory. So maybe we should just jump right into it.
Just go.
So this is our conspiracy segment. This is Redacted. Alrighty, Tommy, we're going to lay out some conspiracy theories that we've both thought of and looked around the internet for. And so that everybody that's listening to this can understand what people are thinking. And there's some big questions that need answers, and we don't have them right now. So let me ask you if you're going to put the tinfoil hat on for this starting question that we all have to ask, which is why was Luka not shopped around? Okay, because I just thinking, who else could they have gotten instead of AD?
Anyone.
Would the T-Wolves do Anthony Edwards for Luka? It's like that's kind of what you could be playing with instead of AD.
Luka's the kind of player that if you went out, you could get as much money as you wanted and any kind of draft picks. I cannot believe they did not sell him to OKC, Houston. I'm thinking of teams that just have, like the Jazz, who just have an obscene amount of picks in the next few years and don't even need them. The Jazz do need them. But the Rockets and OKC are like brimming with picks. Even the Nets, I feel like they've got a few picks up there. So, you know what I mean? Like, why did they not shop him? Because I think there was probably some kind of collusion.
Okay, here we go.
Call it what it is, mate. And look, I'm just going straight. I'm going straight into my redacted. Sorry, I'm putting the tinfoil hat on to answer yours.
Great.
They didn't shop him because they never intended to shop him. I don't even know if he forced his way out.
They're
I
saying
reckon-
no. They're saying he didn't ask for a trade, so that's
Exactly.
interesting.
I reckon there's an outside chance he didn't even know he was going to be traded. All right, here's mate. You have to tell me if you're getting the hat on. All right. It wasn't the Mavs who made the trade. Adam Silver made the trade, unsatisfied that American talent couldn't fill the void of LeBron and no one's stepping up to the plate. He chose to send Luka to the Lakers, give them a new face, new narrative for the next 10 years, and send LeBron off in the next few years. And he's the new face of the NBA. We're going European. And the Mavs, they weren't going to do it. Obviously, you can't have the face of the NBA at the Mavs. They have to be at Boston. They have to be at LA. And he did the trade. He has colluded with the front office ownership.
So let's put that up as a first bit of evidence here, because I'm actually going to continue off of this. I'm going to put that, not only that hat on, get ready to stick a hat on top of that hat, okay? So this is a key bit of evidence number one here. It's theory number one. Number two, tell me to build off of that one.
Yep.
Adam Silver, NBA ratings are down. Wouldn't it be interesting if one of the most exciting young players moved to a major market? We could see potentially, the Celtics are very good. Could this give us a little Lakers-Celtics action? Now, I didn't actually come up with that. That was from Flying Astronaut on Reddit. I want to give him some credit there.
Yep.
But how do you like that one?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to resurrect. Oh, wow, now I think about it. This is a late 80s kind of magic bird. You know, the 80s was fraught with like a drug and alcohol issues and misbehavior from players, rah. At the moment, they're trying, ratings are down. This makes a lot of sense. I definitely took mine from Reddit as well. I can't shout out the user. I'm sorry. Please add us if you see this, and I'll give you the props you deserve. But yeah, everyone loves a Lakers. I don't know why. I don't love it, but everyone loves the Lakers-Celtics rivalry. The Celtics are still young core. They've got at least another 5 years of being dangerous. Minimum. And this ensures that the Lakers have more than 5 years of being dangerous. Wow. Straight on.
Now, just on a slightly less imminent redacted and just sort of thinking, does this mean that LeBron is leaving? What do you think? Like, LeBron trade this like now? What do you think?
I don't know if the Lakers would do that. I think he's worth too much. And I don't know who, unless he does like a Michael and goes to like a team for a year Michael was 40 to be fair.
Oh, hold on, wait. Actually, speaking of, you've just reminded me of another redacted, Tommy.
Just go. I don't think they're gonna trade him. I think he's worth too much, and he'll retire as a Laker.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for this one? This is the game changer that I saw. And again, I forgot this person's name. This was so LeBron's got a player option this offseason.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you've seen this one. Let me explain it to the listeners.
Yep.
So this is actually the sneaky leave the Lakers just high and dry and go build your own super team somewhere else. So will LeBron leave the Lakers this offseason and go for a much smaller contract to Dallas? Now he's playing with Kyrie, AD, Clay, and he's got some bigs as well. All he has to do is show up, and that team is like ready to rock.
It's the reverse card.
It is.
He's just moved part of his team and a few dudes because everyone knows he wanted Clay. So he's gone, you know what? I'll just kind of reverse it. Go to goodness.
What do you reckon about that one? Tinfoil hat on or off for that one?
Potentially on. I can see him taking like a vet minimum or something just to go. Do you know what I mean? And just he wouldn't come off the bench or anything, but he would facilitate. They would run the offense through him. And well, this is what I'm saying. I don't know why the Lakers. It makes sense to be fair, because why would the Lakers get a younger version of LeBron and then keep LeBron?
Yeah.
He's good for marketing, but like everything LeBron does, Luka does better. And he's like 15 years younger. So, yeah, I believe it. Hats on.
Well. Now, before, I think we should try and wrap this one up. We've got to get the Express episode going. So,
absolutely.
But I did have one thing that I forgot to mention from the previous segment, which is my biggest loser of the trade.
Yep.
And that is David Griffin, the New Orleans Pelicans GM. And the reason for that is there's claims that they traded Luka because of his conditioning, and it's bad. And they got AD back. The Pels have had the Super Saiyan version of this problem, and they're stuck with the most street clothes max contract player since Ben Simmons. They must be shattered. They're like, how are we not involved in this? We would have given you anything.
100%, man. 100%. I would say other losers, every other team that didn't get Luka. Really. And do you want to talk about Jimmy? How does this impact, or are we getting into another segment?
No. Touch on it. That's a good thing to touch on.
How does this impact the impending Jimmy trade? Because I wonder, we're still on redacted, I wonder if Adam Silver's done this. Everyone's talking about Jimmy, I need to kind of deflect a little bit, but also like it just adds another excitement. We're all awaiting the Jimmy trade. We're all waiting for that to drop. Where's he going to go? And then this is like takes you out from the side and it just hooks everyone into NBA even more. And then what's going to happen? Jimmy's going to get traded in like what? This week, maybe? Like, when's the deadline? It's got to be soon.
Yeah, I think it's this week.
And people will be like, okay, I'm back in redacted. All-Star's coming up, mate. All-Star's coming up. The best thing to happen before All-Star, a blockbuster trade. You get all the stars together. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's watching. Think of the All-Star game. Think of the All-Star game with some of these fellas playing against each other. Don't tell me that it's not going to be competitive. Surely he has manufactured this. Come on, man.
Wowee, Adam Silver, a lot of explaining to do. Innocent until proven guilty, but has he just been proven guilty? We'll have to see.
Well,
all right. Well, Tommy, I love that on the fly redacted. And you know what? It's all leading together. But let's jump in because we're actually, for the first time ever, we're going to be doing our worst take segment before the first take show actually gets to do its first take segments on this.
Wow.
So let's jump over to our segment. If for people that like first take, you're going to love this. It's worst fake. Alrighty, welcome to Worst Fake. Yes, thank you for the percussion there, Tommy. Worst Fake is our first take style segment, except unlike first take, you and I do not know what we're going to be arguing. So we're going to be acting like a guest on first take, very passionate about our topics, but again, we have no idea what they're going to be or which side we're going to be arguing. Tommy, did you want to give me the topic first, or did you want me to sling you one?
No, I want to give it to you first, mate.
Right.
And we've sort of alluded to this already a little bit, so it's not the most left of field. Obviously, it's going to be about the huge trade. Here's the thing. Everyone's talking about how the Mavs got robbed or the Lakers robbed them. Here's the thing. This is your worst fake. The Mavs couldn't have drawn it up any better. They are the winners. Everyone is in their perfect position now. Kyrie can run the offense. He doesn't have to do that ball dominant. You go, then I go, back and forth. They are going to be good luck scoring on PJ Washington. Any AD, Gafford, or Derek Lively. PJ Washington can cook from the perimeter as well. I actually think this Dallas team makes so much sense because Luka's kind of out of the picture and everyone can play it's a role player's game, the NBA. So I want you to tell me why the Mavs are really the winners in this, and think of the money they offloaded as well. They're not going to have to pay AD for that long. I don't want to do it for you. I'm just saying.
I think you've actually done a lot of it for me there, which is very helpful, so I appreciate it, mate.
Sorry, I'm into it. I believe it.
You love it. Look, here's what I think. They've done the long play here, okay? They've gone, you know what? We're not going to beat some of these young teams. These teams are too well designed. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to punt on this team, but we're going to look like we're going for something here. But really what we're trying to do is just hold on to our draft picks and just play for the future. Luka, in their opinion, he doesn't care enough, and their owner apparently is very caring about money. So they're really just going to be looking for someone who has a lot of tenacity and wants to play a lot. Is that person AD? I don't know. But, I think that what they're thinking is long-term, there's something's off about Luka, and everyone else is going to find out. Now, I hate to bring this person up because they're one of my favorite players that the Bucks have offloaded, but it's unfortunately true that Malcolm Brogdon does not have the health that you'd want. Now, did I love him on the Bucks? Yes. Did I really hate when he was traded for just a second-round pick? Yes. But has that been proven to be actually a pretty good idea? Unfortunately, yes. So I feel like this is kind of one of those scenarios.
You heard it here first that Luka is just a dressed-up Brogdon trade. That's what it is, okay? We all thought it was he just won Rookie of the Year, and Rookie of the Year going to the finals, they're commensurate sort of accomplishments. And you know what? It's going to come out in a year or two. Luka's going to do an ACL. I hope it doesn't happen. Trust me, I don't want this to happen. he's going to just, and maybe he'll pull an Embiid. Maybe he'll just like sit out of back-to-backs, just not play enough, and he'll just be a bench warmer. And this is going to come back around. So I'm sorry I did that. I did that worst fake for you, mate. But I'm sorry. I believed it. I believed in it. I felt it. And just took me there.
Exactly. It's an emergency pod. We're flying around. Everything's frantic. We have to do whatever just comes naturally at the time. You got to go with it. But yeah, no, and I'm sure a lot of people have been thinking about this trade, and they've been thinking, yeah, this is really reminding me of the Malcolm Brogdon to Indiana trade. I think that's where a lot of people's heads went straight away.
What a Bucks take. What a Bucks flavor lensed take.
Alrighty. Tell me, I've got to do the one that is definitely going to be done either tomorrow or the next day on first take. So I'm letting you get in here first.
All right.
And this is, tell me why this move is great for LeBron's legacy.
LeBron loves nothing more than looking good. And he's got basically an all-star game to play with every single night now. Lakers are playing tomorrow. Luka probably won't play, but he's now got someone to be flashy with. Think of the highlight package. And you know what? Let's be honest. Luka almost single-handedly took that team to the finals. I reckon he could do it again. He's got LeBron now. Like, let's not beat around the bush. If he could do it at the Mavs, he can do it with the Lakers. There's an outside chance that who they meet in the East is going to be a banged-up Celtics or like a limping Cleveland, and they may win a ring. And if they do, this could be not only the biggest trade, but the thing that ties LeBron, gets him over that hurdle to be the GOAT. They've gone all in, and even after he retires, whatever, they've ensured that the Lakers will remain relevant for the next 10, 15 years. So how will this impact his legacy? Look no further than Bronny James, my boy. Look no further. He's, like I said before, he's got a new mentor. Their primes are just going to align at the perfect time. And, I can just see the hallowed name of James just cruising off into the sunset in the Lakers. Multiple retired jerseys. This has been maybe the biggest move in that affects LeBron's legacy, without a doubt.
Wow, that's what I wanted to hear. The biggest move that affects LeBron's legacy. If ESPN does not use that exact take, they are missing out on some meat on the bone there. Now, before we go, Tommy, I actually did have one interesting final thing that I wanted to say to you. A great words fake as well. Perfect, exactly what we're looking for. This is something slightly unrelated, but I just thought it was interesting to think of. So this comes from Jake Fisher. I don't know why I've recorded everyone's name this time, but I'm feeling very journalistic about it.
Generous.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So apparently, the Spurs have been trying to get LaMelo onto the team. I just want to get your thoughts on potentially the biggest NBA social media team in history, LaMelo and Wemby.
I actually love it. And the reason I do is because, let's be honest, CP3 doesn't have much more left in the tank. And they need to be looking elsewhere. He's great for now. He might be great for next season. But LaMelo is languishing on the Hornets. If they've got any sense, they won't trade him. But, I mean, the Spurs probably have some picks to burn. And they can probably, drop a few on a LaMelo trade. They've also got a couple of, the Spurs have a couple of decent-ish, so I'm looking at you, Jeremy Sohan. Who's that other player? They've got a few decent players who think that they're the number one option or used to be the number one option, but now they're the fifth option. And they would be more than happy to go to to any other team that doesn't have someone named Wembanyama on it. So I actually like LaMelo. To the Spurs, and that would be really fun to watch. And again, let's not get into in advance redacted, but I'd be getting the tinfoil hat on if Silver doesn't make that happen. He would think of the TikTok because he wants to get that younger generation, and that's the way to do it.
Very nice. Well, I think that's the way as well. I also want to see it happen. I just feel like the internet could explode. If there was a Lakers versus Spurs game and these were all the players in it, I actually think the internet would melt down. So I think Adam Silver is going to be thinking, since he's already pulled off one move, why not go whole hog and do both?
Why not? I can't see any reason why I wouldn't.
All right, Tommy, did you have any last things you wanted to leave the fans with?
No, just welcome to all our new listeners. Thank you for dropping in. And look, this isn't our usual episode, but sometimes emergencies have to be called. And life had to be done. It had to be done. But it's an exciting time to be watching the NBA. Goodness gracious. And I'll be honest, it actually has kind of worked. I sort of want to watch the next Lakers game. I can't believe I said it, but I did. And I probably will. When Luka, does it, I'd watch it. I'll watch it.
Well, I mean, our potential favorite thing, which is that the Lakers or Celtics are doing poorly. I mean, this could be another one of these horrible rust situations where it's actually enjoyable to watch them and see what happens. So who knows? That's all on the table, and we'll see what happens. We may check back in at some point soon. We don't know. We're happy that everybody's got 2 episodes in 1 week from us. And Tommy, call me a shark. Because Finn.